Hello and welcome to Autocar Professionals Future Powertrain Conclave, and I am here with Mr. Simili, who represents BorgWarner, and would love to get his thoughts on the future powertrain solutions and the kind of solutions that India envisions. So, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sir, I wanted to discuss with you, how do you see the future powertrain mix of India developing and going forward? How do you see that the solution that India requires? What is that in your opinion?
So, first of all, thank you again for this opportunity. Talking about actual percentages on this mix will be always challenging, as I think customers will dictate based on the fuel and technology evolution. However, what we can see from a tier one supplier perspective is uh, giving the right solutions to our customers, OEMs, at the right value proposition. So that is a key enabler, is what we're seeing. And the value proposition right now, in terms of these hybrid architectures, is coming down to performance, cost, quality, reliability, safety is always a given. That's at the forefront of our customers. So within these parameters and these different variables, how can we maximize the value proposition in this different mix of hybrid solutions? So I think that's where we are focusing on as BorgWarner, and developing solutions that support this.
Tell me something. We are here in Chennai today, and the Tamil Nadu government has sort of set a target of reaching $1 trillion economy by 2030. What will that entail? It's already 40% of all auto ancillaries manufacturing
Right.
already happens in this state, and you have a big presence here as well. So, what will it take to sort of get to that goal? And where do you see the presence of the state in the overall scheme of things when you look at India as a manufacturing hub for EVs and other technologies?
Absolutely. So you're absolutely right. So BorgWarner already has manufacturing plants in Tamil Nadu. In fact, we have two of them. We are closely looking at how we can scale those to meet the growing demand in India, and also potentially support outside India markets. The good thing in the BorgWarner product portfolio is the systems and components that we make are not just suitable for today. They're focusing on automotive, but it could very well extend to aviation, where you do see a lot of electric propulsion and electrification components being used in drone technologies and other forms of electrified propulsion in the aviation industry. So that is a huge opportunity. There are also opportunities for growth in terms of understanding these components and manufacturing them, and thereby providing the employment that I think the state is looking to achieve over the coming years. So I would say investing in these technologies will definitely manifest itself in not just automotive, but it could be other non-automotive industries as well. So that is something that's exciting, and one can look forward to that.
Got it. We always talk about how a very minuscule amount of budgets companies allocate in their R&D and research teams. Is that improving? How important is it to research and localize in India? And not just in terms of manufacturing, we have achieved quite a scale in that regard. Even globally, when you look at auto ancillaries company, we've seen a fair amount of progress there. But when it comes to R&D, we still, still behind certain scalable economies. So how do you see that localizing R&D? How much of a focus is that going to be for your company and for India going forward?
The great question. In fact, the business unit I represent within BorgWarner, it's Power Drive Systems. We started with a technical center in India. We launched it 3 years ago, and now, based on the market trends, based on discussions with India OEMs, we are now looking to explore how we can build on manufacturing. So the reason I mentioned that is we went the other direction. As a business unit, we went with first establishing a tech center, building the technical know-how, building the technical research capability, the development capability, the testing capability, which enables our engineers to then apply those learnings and design, contribute to product strategies for the India market in a much better way.
Yeah.
So I think companies are doing this in especially product-based companies like ourselves. So that trend is already happening, I would say, where companies are looking to fortify manufacturing with a research division or a technical center division that work hand in hand with manufacturing plants.
And also, this entire narrative about China plus one, India manufacturing look for the domestic market and also for the world. How do you see the progress on that? Is it just a buzzword? Are we losing out on sort of businesses to other bigger economies, developing economies, or India is right on track to sort of manufacture for the world? What are the challenges that you see, and where is the progress? What is the progress like?
Right. I think we are directionally in the right path. One thing that definitely observing some of the other countries in Asia is speed and agility. So that is something we have. I see there is room to improve, where we can, and speed and agility can be applied across the spectrum. Right, it's in engineering, policy, decision making. Incentives across the board, manufacturing. So that is something there is we can do better and help accelerate the first is the nation's development, and in that process also understanding what is the right technology that our customers are looking for. So speed, yeah, and execution, I would say.
Is it also a reskilling problem in terms of the new technology? I'm sure you see it within your ecosystem as well, how there needs to be more agility when it comes to reskilling, more programs, maybe at a very down up level rather than it coming from a top down approach. So how do you see the skilling part of it, and what is required to sort of reskill and sort of re-engineer the whole ecosystem and sort of make sure that we're right there?
So maybe I'll answer this in the context of our technical center and more specifically in the electrification space. Uh, so in our technical center, we recently commissioned a high voltage power electronics lab and a motor lab. So this enables engineers, even they're coming out of universities, to directly get that hands-on experience and work on product development activities that directly go into production in 2 to 3 years. So there is already that step function that these incoming engineers get to experience with the overall global knowledge and competency centers we have within BorgWarner.
Yeah.
On the other side of ensuring that the larger ecosystem of across the value chain get experience in some of these new technologies, I have at least seen many policies from different state governments that are looking to initiate reskill program or upskill programs. A lot of universities have started to do that. We are working with few universities in the region, partnering with them on specific course content that helps bridge this gap. And also, it's a very multidisciplinary field. So, whether you're a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, electronics, computer science, I think all these disciplines converge when it comes to electrification, hybrid technology.
Yeah.
So, I think the available resources are there for people to take up the skill gap, if you will, and I think industry and academia and the government are having sufficient avenues for people to explore them.
Yeah. Yeah, you rightly said it's all merging into one. A car is not a mechanical product anymore; it's a gadget.
Exactly.
And even like the engine behind it is changing. We're speaking of mixing technologies and how India needs to have an India-specific solution.
Right.
So, just wanted to understand from you, with net zero targets, every country, looking at its own direction, forging its own path. Europe has a very different way than China, and US is sort of, they were big on EVs. Now it's sort of a slowing of pace happening. How do you see? How do you envision India's direction towards its net zero goals? What will it entail? And like by 2030, if there are certain readings or projections that you might have, would love to leave our viewers with that as well.
No, absolutely. So in BorgWarner, we do have a concept called LAGS, LAGS. It's local accountability, global strength. And this model has been our pillar across regions, where it gives us the flexibility to tap into our global strength. It could be in engineering, it could be in supply chain, it could be in manufacturing, any spectrum of the business. And then the local accountability is also a key pillar, where the regional leadership, the regional customers, the requirements and the needs, full accountability is given to the region to make those decisions, to accelerate development. So this has been our sort of mantra within BorgWarner for many years. And I see this also playing out in India region, for example, where that level of, let's call it, design for India or customization for India will come into play. And not just India, through that exercise, also for rest of the world. So there are similar needs, not just in India, but even in other parts of the world, where I think BorgWarner products can meet the needs of other regions as well. So this will continue. In terms of projections, yeah, like I said in the panel session as well, giving percentages is always a challenge, especially as a tier one, because we work very closely with OEMs and obviously the end customer in the region. So we can say that we are having the experience, this global strength, to help India OEMs find the right solution mix and industrialize and get to production that solution quicker and see how the customer reception is, and be part of that journey with our India OEMs.
But what would you say about the slowing pace of growth, especially when it comes to EVs and even the mass market segment? If you look at passenger vehicles this year is expected to be muted. The entry level segments for all OEMs, like major players in the two-wheeler space, in the four-wheeler space, are struggling to come back, especially in that segment. So there is like a mixed kind of an approach, even in terms of pace of growth. How do you sort of read the market?
Yeah, that's always a challenge. Unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball ourselves. But one thing is it ties back to right the value creation. So if the customer is seeing the value in the product, it could be in any of the categories. That is what is an appealing quality. And in terms of how we produce or bring about that value is where the timelines have shrunk, right? What would normally take product development cycles 3-4 years is now happening in like 18 months, 24 months, that type of a timeline. So to be able to generate value at that short time span requires immense collaboration across the automotive sector, tier one OEMs. That's point number one. Point number two, I think we have to figure out how we can, cost is key in such a market cycle where it's highly sensitive to cost. How can we bring cost down and yet provide the value to the customer? So I think these two elements are going to be key moving forward to address that.
And you see these improving in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the improvement in technology to address cost, scale benefit coming in. We are working on platform solutions within BorgWarner, so that is directly to address efficiency and scale. So I think these will get passed on to the OEMs, and hopefully the OEMs can pass that to the end customers. So yeah.
On that positive note, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you so much
you
for
for
your
your
time.
time.